All right, guys, welcome to another amazing episode of the Comics Lounge. So glad you can join us, whether you're joining us here tonight live or whether you're joining us on the replay, which a lot of you do end up joining, and we really appreciate it. So now we're going to be talking about comic book speculation, all about where comic books have been going and why they're going down, down, down. So a lot of us been seeing this in the community, and it's been kind of crazy to see these big books going for astronomically fractions of a price that they were going for way back during COVID and then a little bit after. So tonight we have Mark Spector Comics, and later Spurs Lair will be joining us. But we're definitely looking forward to all of the different takes on this because it's been insane seeing Ultimate Fallout 4, the 1 in 25 variant drop from 40,000 all the way down to, I think I saw yesterday, like a $15,000 sale for a 9.8.
Yeah, actually, I posted it on my IG that one of the sales
Yeah.
from the most recent. I think it was Comic Link that did the auction. It was two Ultimate Fallout 4s, the cover A, and then one of the 1 in 25. And I think the cover A went for 1,200, which I think is really low. And then yeah, that other one went for I think it was the 13 or 14,000. I'd have to pull it up. But
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
the price is down quite a bit.
any, yeah, that is an insane drop. Um, any reasons why you're thinking? I mean, I know it's a lot to do with the market, but what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm just sorry, I'm just pulling it up. Yeah, 1,200 for the cover A and
Okay.
16.5 for
Yo,
the
yo! What's up?
the 1 in 25 variant.
Okay.
What's going on?
So 20% drops
Yo,
on both
yo.
covers pretty much. Or 20% of what they were going for.
Yeah, for when was that 40,000 sale? Was that the beginning of the year or was that last year?
I
I
I'd have to
want to
pull it
say it
up
was
on
beginning of the year.
because I have GPA, so I can pull all that stuff up. And look all that stuff up while we're doing this too. Not just for this book
Okay.
or any books in general that we're talking about tonight. But yeah, go ahead. I'm just
Yeah, that's
pulling
what's
it
up.
up right now.
All good. How's it going, Spires Lair?
Oh, wow. I'm chilling. I got so much going on. Jesus Christ. I still putting together my video, so I'll have that done tomorrow. It's just so much footage. I actually had to cut out like some footage that I didn't really get to that, but I kept like the meat of the bone on there. We're gonna have that exclusive David knocking out. I've been sharing some of that interview and people are loving it. You know, he's saying about the comic and everything, and you know, it's all good. We had a great time there. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, and shout out to you, Dave. I'm glad you got your book.
Yeah, thanks,
Because
man.
I'm telling you,
Yeah,
I
I
was
got the pack.
literally okay. So I did get a copy of that book. That was okay, Chris. When we were there, that's what they were giving out at the door. The ghost book. I forget what it
Yeah.
was called, but I have that
The mach
copy. But Dave, when I was in front of the
what's it
booth,
called?
I forgot to
Ghost
look for it,
Machine.
and I
Yeah,
turned
yeah.
around.
Yep.
Yeah, so we got those Ghost Machine. Yeah, I remember you were saying that, and I was like, yeah, I have that. It's somewhere around here.
Well,
And
this is just
so
the
yeah, I was walking around on the last day looking for people like crazy and around. And I was like, oh shit, there's Ghost Machine. It was like meant to be. So I was like, I picked it up for you. So I'm glad you got your copies, and that was my pleasure to do
Thanks,
for you,
man. Yeah,
indeed.
I have to do
But yeah, I mean, I'm still recovering
the
from Comic Con. I
unboxing.
feel like an old man. Yes, yes, I would like to see that unboxing definitely. You know, but um, yeah, I mean. We were talking about these decreasing mix, and yeah, this is gonna happen. I'll show you guys now. I think I showed you guys in the chat, but I'm gonna save that for Christmas. I mean, I literally grabbed a Grail, and I grabbed it for like a third of the price. And you know, this is how when I grab a Grail, I'm gonna make mega deals. You know, if they make sense. And I bought
Yeah.
a mega piece that really made sense, and the price was right. I mean, it was qualified, so the only thing it was missing was 3 pages, but the pages that was missing in this particular book did not affect the story. The story was still a complete story, and the grade was about a 4.5. And this is a book that was made in '65, but it was so like such in great condition. It was a qualified grade, but it was still a snatch up. Now I'm gonna show that off for Christmas. It's a Christmas gift to the Leia. Don't tell it. Hey, Leia, no, you didn't hear that. That's it. It's literally for the Leia. Like, I literally bought a comic for myself and for the Spiders Leia. So, I'll be unveiling that one on Christmas Day. So, I have it. It's not even, I don't play it. The book is not, the CGC is not, it's a CGC, by the way, yeah. It's not even in the Leia. It's in the other parts of the house. I won't bring it up here until then. I don't play.
So I'm looking
yeah.
at just to get back
Wow.
to like what we were talking about. I'm looking at eBay sales, and
Yeah.
even from the beginning of September, a 9.8 first print sold for $17.55, and now most of the 9.8 first prints are going for $14.20, $13.26,
Mm-hmm.
$14.11, $14.99, 1,400. Like it's been a drop even since 2 months ago
Yeah.
of about
Yep.
$200 to $300.
Yeah. And
So if
that's
you
just the
wait long
beginning.
enough, you'll be able to get this book for $500.
Listen to me. I'm telling you right now, you'll be able to.
If it'll I don't know if it'll get down to $500. That's wishful thinking.
It's
Um,
wishful
Hey,
thinking
you
but
on my
never
part.
know.
but
It's called
it will get to
manifestation.
it'll get to 1K real soon.
Yeah. You think it will drop
I'm
below
looking on.
1,000?
I think it will. I think it'll be in the high nines.
Okay. Which makes
I
sense for
don't know
modern
when, but
covers or modern books.
but that book, in all fairness, does have a lot going for it. It is considered one of the modern grails
Yeah.
out there. Um, whether you like the character or
Yeah.
not. It does command a price, and even for a book that is what we're talking, what, maybe 20 years old. I don't know when it came out, 2000 and early 2000s. So
12 years
it's
old now?
when
2011?
did it
Yeah.
come out? Was it
Yeah.
2011?
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yep.
2011. So yeah,
Yeah. It's
so
about 2011.
it's
Yeah. Yeah. It's about
so
2011.
it commands a good price. Some on GPA,
I. St-
and looking at the prices, so early, the first sale of the year, just so you guys have some context of what this book's been doing. Um, January 1st, this book sold for 1,800 and a 9.8. This is cover A, not the 1 in 25. It had a high sale of, this is for the year, of, looks like, um, I see 2,400. I don't think that's the highest. And that's in March. It looks like 20, is that the highest sale? It could be. Um, Looks like 2,400 was probably the highest sale for the year. And the lowest sale for the year, this is for, oh, sorry, 2768 is the high sale for the year.
okay.
Somebody paid almost 3 grand for it.
Oh wow.
And the low sale for the year is 1,100.
Whoa.
1,100. And I'm trying to see when that came. I don't know when that came. It wasn't recent either. That's what's surprising.
That's
It was in
crazy.
August. August 16th. 1,100 was the
August.
low sale.
Damn.
August, yep. The
And,
most recent sale was the 24th for 1,260.
and
So
this is and this is a CGC 98 you're talking about,
this is, yeah,
or just a raw?
GPA only reports CGC graded.
Okay, I got it. Okay,
And
that's
now this is
crazy.
not all the
Yeah.
sales in the market. This is all the sales that GPA collects from eBay,
Yeah.
Comic Link, all the major auction sites, but that's not obviously nothing private, nothing
Yeah, I
What'd you
understand what you're
say?
saying.
YouTube.
What'd you say the
Yeah,
most recent one was?
1260,
that's
1260.
crazy.
and that was a few days ago.
You know, I actually have that book. I just gotta find it. Meaning that it's lost in my collection somewhere. 1800 high sale, March 27, low sale, August. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, recent
So
1260. Nice.
2760. So if I calculate that, I'm gonna put this on an ROI calculator. 2768
How
and
many negatives
and
you're going to be in the hole?
it's not gonna be pretty. And with the
Well,
low sale 1100, you're talking about just on this year alone, if you were that person that spent $2,700, you're talking about a 60% loss on your investment right now.
yeah, yeah.
That's
I
insane.
mean, and this is why I say to people all the time, especially when it comes to like the modern grails, they're going to be tricky right now. Don't be in a
Yep.
rush to buy one. I said this. I went to Comic Con. Me and Chris were standing right there. And you remember, Chris, when we were talking to the CGC people, they were telling us
Yep.
about the grills they bought? They were terrified to sell them because they already know the grills are
Oh,
coming
yeah.
down. They bought them at the high end of the pandemic. And of course, you sat on them too long. And now
Yeah.
people don't have that disposable.
They
Listen, it
were
comes down to
begging
this.
for money.
You gotta understand, everybody was getting $1,200 a month,
Yep.
a check. You know, so these were stimulus
Yeah.
checks that were coming in. So this is like, oh, I buy this grill, I buy this, I buy that. That's what stimulates the market. It's an artificial
Yep.
stimulation. This is the time at that point is when you start to sell your
Yep.
stuff, you know, and
A
then you
family
wait. Right. I mean, it
a
comes
family
down
of
to
four is
this.
making $3,600 every paycheck.
Yeah,
Every
and you know,
stimulus check.
and if it was me, that's $3,000. Of that 3,600 will go right into comics. But I'm saying like, yeah. So it doesn't surprise me that things coming down, especially inflation. And we were talking about that earlier about how interest rates are going up. And I always like for years since I was younger, I actually learned how to invest in the stock market by investing in comics. It kind of like goes together somewhat, not
Yeah.
100%, but whenever you see the market fluctuate, is when you'll see comics fluctuate as well. Because you gotta understand, when we were collecting back in the day, we were collecting to collect, but now these things are considered investments. When you have people, auction houses like Christie's involved in people's collections, that gotta tell you that the value and intrinsicity of these comics are something that are actual assets. But just like with any asset, depending on what's going on in the world, it's going to appreciate or depreciate. I think a lot of people jumped in on the high end of everything, which you never do.
Yep.
You don't jump in on the
Especially
high
all the
end,
newbies.
especially if you have patience and time. If you're not in a rush to buy, then don't buy it. Like I said, only if it makes sense, then you buy a grill if you can get
Yeah.
it on sale. Always buy a grill when you can get it on sale. If it makes sense, make it happen.
Yep.
But don't be in a rush to buy things when everyone else is in the rush to buy things. You see, the more people want, the more the demand of the money. But now, you know, Christmas is coming, the holidays are coming. All these things that are coming up now that people are going to need extra money for, these things that we, like, this guy's like, okay, well, you know what? I actually need some Christmas gifts this year, so I'll start selling it. And this is like, I'm telling you right now, in the next 3 months, especially by December, we're going to do this. We're going to find some grails I'm going to follow. I'm going to follow them. I'm going to do reports on them like once a month. And I'm going to show you how much is going to go down by Christmas. You're going to be getting steals by Christmas. Steals. And it's
That's
just part of the economy. Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
I'm telling you.
that's how it is historically.
Yeah. I mean, this is how I learned how to invest. It was crazy, but I never realized it too. I got good at both. And then I looked and I was like, wait a minute. This definitely correlates, you know?
Yep.
So knowing that and knowing what the economy is going through and having a foresight for like the next year, I don't see this economy getting any better. Thus, people are going to need more money. This is where sales start to decrease because now you're flooding the market with supply with very little demand. And this is the times where I always tell people, no matter what it is, whether, I don't care what you're buying, think of comics as an investment into your future. That's exactly what it is, okay? So anything that you buy as an investment, always try to buy it at the low end if you can afford to do it at that point. You know, there's no need to rush anything.
This was the problem though back during the COVID bump. a
Yes.
lot of people who are buying in, the speculators, investors, whatever you want to label them,
Yeah.
they didn't know if that was the low end or not. That's the thing.
Right.
All
That's
they
what I'm
Yeah.
know
saying.
is watch
Exactly.
prices
Yes. Yes.
continuously go
Can
up.
you?
So they didn't know. They
Yeah.
thought the book was going to continue to double, triple, whatever it may be.
You're right.
I
So
remember when I
they,
first got in 6 years ago. Now I think it was 2018. Um, it was right after the Amazing Spider-Man 800 came out, so it was around 2018. And I remember Ultimate Fallout 4 at that point being about a $1,200 book, and then it pretty
Damn.
much doubled every single year for like the next 3 years. So like in 2019 it was
so
like
yeah,
2,400. In 2020 it was up to like 3,600 almost.
Yes.
yeah,
And
I got
then
the GPA. Yeah, I can look it up. So like it had a pretty big jump from 2019 to 2020. Like the high sale was 450,
yep,
and then from 2020 the high sale went to 1420.
Yeah.
wow.
See.
So it had essentially a triple
And
What's
isn't it
triple
the
jump.
funny? That's when the checks were being issued during those times, and you see, I'm just, it's
yep?
right
Yeah,
there. It's little like that's why I was saying to you guys earlier, like you could predict. It's real simple. You guys
Yeah.
want to buy comics on sale. Follow what's going on in the economy. The economy, 95 to 98% of the time, will tell you where comics are going. Comics are collectibles. They are assets. So when assets do bad across the board, they all decrease in value together. That's when
What's
you go
the
and buy things on sale, especially if you can wait. This is what I've always done, and I've always gotten sales. I've always gotten great deals. I mean, I started my collection when I was very young. I still have books in here. I mean, I still have a Amazing Spider-Man 300 laying around that I have a CGC that I never read. I bought it in '88. I bought it just for
Mhm.
'89, whatever it came out, and I left it. Never read it. Left it in plastic. It's still there. It's just in my in my Pandora's
Yeah.
boxes. I
just
just gotta go through. I'm
it's
gonna
in a
do a show
box
about that
collecting
because
dust.
no, it's in like I have these boxes that I call Pandora's box, and it's like the black BCW boxes, the tight like the tough boxes, like they're like comic book boxes, but they're black
like these right
and
here?
they're yeah, like those. They're tough boxes. You can put a card on the front. So I have about I would say at least 8 of those. But when I say
Nice.
those 8 are full, and they're all holy grails. They're not even grails. They're like real big hitters. Some of them are a little mix in there. Like I'll find like a $20 grail, and then they pull out an $800 book right behind it. And I'm like, what are you doing here? It's things like that. Like I'm gonna eventually go through the boxes and reorganize them. But yeah, I got a bunch of Pandora's boxes that are just like it's just the things I pull out of it. I know one of them. I have what was the first Cindy Moon comic? The second printing. Yeah, I have that one. The Spider-Man #4,
Yeah.
second printing. I have 10 of those like laying in one of these boxes.
Okay.
And I bought those, like I said, because before the pandemic started, I started to see that people were already flooding to sell their comics, but no one had money yet. So I was picking these things up, and I picked up a whole lot of stuff, and then everything started going up. Like I picked up, I
Yeah.
have over here, I have over there like Amazing Spider-Man #1. It's a reprint signed by Stan Lee. I bought that. I think I paid for it like 200. And I
Mhm.
remember at one point, and this was recently, so I know it had to have gone down. And I was thinking about, damn, maybe I should flip this because it went up to 3K. And I was like,
Shit.
$3,000. And this is not something that I thought was going to go up that quickly. I mean, man did died, God rest your
Yep.
soul, doing all this. So I had a feeling it was gonna, but not like that. But I don't think that book is worth cutting anymore. But this goes with the whole territory of speculation.
Yeah.
It's just like with anything. I've seen it with cryptocurrency, I've seen it with the stock market, I've seen it with comics. All about speculation. It's all about the hype. That's why you guys got to get hype and buy Symbiotic. You guys want to see some crazy stuff I've done with my artist Nico Artist Supreme? I had some remarks done for my cover, so I'm gonna show you a couple. Check these out, guys.
So while you're showing those off, Cray Cray's actually a guy I used to ride with,
Cray
and
cray.
he was
And look,
talking about motorcycles, and yeah, always selling late winter, and always or late winter to early spring, and always buy in late fall. When you
yeah,
sell in late winter, you're selling those bikes
Yeah.
for about
That's a
500 to even 1,000 more than what you're going to be able to sell it for throughout the year.
right.
And it's crazy, but that's the way the market fluctuates. I remember my first bike that I ever bought, I sold it. It was probably about February when I sold it. And the weather was just getting ready to turn, but it wasn't. It was still like a month away from great weather to ride. And if I would have sold it and waited until the end of that season, I probably would have got 800 for it. But because I sold it, I was able to sell it for 1,500, which is what I paid for it 2 years beforehand. So like,
Yeah.
you got to know when the market's hot for what you're dealing with. Like right now, I
Absolutely.
wouldn't go and sell a lawnmower.
Yeah.
The weather's not going to be good for much longer.
No.
People aren't going to be looking for them.
Absolutely.
That's how
But
it is.
this is-
That's what it is with the comic market. You know, as it gets towards the Christmas, like you said earlier, people are spending money towards their family and their loved ones, their friends,
Yeah.
for gifts. You're not going to see a lot. Granted, the books are going to be out there. You know, you're not going to be one that wants to sell
Exactly.
post the holidays because people are not going to have as much money up until tax season comes in. Then it turns around again.
Yeah,
People
yeah,
have a
so-
little bit of extra money.
What's
and then that's
what's
when you
the
start, you know, seeing prices go up.
And
a little bit.
that's the time you don't buy during tax season. Always never buy anything between the months
Yeah.
of January to April. Wait, because in 3 months people are gonna reflip those books, thinking they're gonna make something. They're gonna go on the market. They ain't gonna make nothing, and then what's gonna happen is you just pick it up for whatever. Like I've seen people literally pick up grails and flip them and make nothing off of them. I'm like, what did you go through all that trouble for? Yeah, you just
Summer-
flipped it
Right
and became
after is-
even.
the summer's
after
also
is
when I
content
feel
starts.
that there's the most times where you see the people posting about, oh, I bought this book on eBay, and as soon as I won the sale, the guy canceled it because he didn't get what he wanted to out of the auction, so he just said, I'm not going to sell it
That's
right now.
grimy. I don't like that.
Yeah,
I can't stand that either. That's
Exactly.
you know, I
I
sell
saw on eBay. I
primarily
never
on
did that
eBay.
to anybody. I got a 100%. I have on my eBay. It's 100% seller and buyer rated because I never play that. Like
same here.
if you got it, I mean, I got some books that got away cheap, and hey, it is what it is. You know, it's the nature of the game. You got it,
That's
fair
why,
and square.
yeah, if you
yeah.
sell
You
it
take
for
a
what
loss
can
on something,
afford
you
to
take a
lose it
loss.
for.
Claim it.
It's never
You know,
a loss
Yep.
because
it-
it's still promoting your brand no matter what.
Exactly.
I mean, you know, if you're a
Mark,
businessman,
what's
you're
the
yeah.
what's the highest sale of a 9.8 for Ultimate Fallout 4 cover A?
the record?
Yeah.
The record recorded price on GPA is 4,500, and that
Okay.
was in 2022. So if you bought that book in 2022 for 4,400, and you
Oh,
look
God.
at the current low price of 1,100, you're down 76%. I had to do that
That's
math for you quickly.
insane.
Now, wait till you talk about the big boy books. Like, we're talking about Amazing
can-
Spider-Man
I'll-
1, Amazing Fantasies 15. I mean, I'm looking
So-
to the Journey into Mystery. Like, these things are just, like, tanking. Like, these are mega grails, and they're just, like,
Yeah.
they're just tanking into the toilet. And
I don't.
not
I
even
don't
a
think
year ago, they
they're-
were... Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think they're having. Yes, they're having. The corrections. I don't think they're having a precipitously higher correction than say that Ultimate Fallout 4, 1 in 25.
Yeah.
I can pull it up and we can calculate it and all that stuff, but I don't think it has.
Like I said, I'll be honest. At this point, I'd rather have... If I had a choice between having the Ultimate Fallout 4 or Amazing Spider-Man 300, I would definitely choose that over that book for sure. Wait, hold on.
Ultimate
It's making
Fallout?
me miss... No, I would
Which
choose
book
Amazing
is that?
Spider-Man 300 over Ultimate Fallout
Oh, yeah.
4.
Yeah.
If I could get an Ultimate Fallout 4 for like
Sit,
200
one of
bucks
them
and then
sitting here
grade
all
it and have
alone.
it be a 9.6 or 9.8, I'd be game.
This
but-
was a 9.2, but I'm just waiting for Todd to come back into CGC, and I got 2 of these laying around. They're going to CGC. But yeah, I'd rather have this, honestly, because this book, throughout its long, long history, what was this made in 89? Yeah, no, 88, yeah. Long, long history of this book, it's held its value, like, so consistently. I mean,
Yeah, what
I've never seen this book go ridiculously crazy for its age. It holds the value. This is like what a comic book should be priced. I never seen
Yeah.
this go crazy. Those with Fallout, I seen that thing just go all over the place, and it makes no sense because you're so of a modern grail. It's not even like, to me, look, I'll be honest. I remember catching my Ultimate Fallout 4, and there was a bunch of them wrecked. I should have took them all. I didn't know how to press them, but it doesn't matter. I looked at this, and I was telling my fiance, I said, you know what, I think this is going to be a grail, but I'm not crazy about it. I just pick it up anyway because just in case, you know? So, I knew about Kid Arachnid, but then this whole Miles Morales thing confused me. And then I started to read, and then I knew what the hell I was reading. I said, oh, okay, now I get what's going on. And I was like, oh, okay, this is just like a pretty much a new Spider-Man. This is gonna break into a whole like multiverse of them. I knew it back then because the game was showing me this plus this comic coming out, so I started seeing, okay, they're expanding their, there wasn't called Spider-Verse then, but that's what they were doing. They were expanding the Spider-Verse. But I just feel like always, even now, even at the low prices now, that grail's always been overpriced. It's too modern to be that much. People are putting too much hype over this Miles Morales character. Like, I play Spider-Man 2, and I'll be honest. Look, I play Spider-Man 2, and I'll be honest. I feel like Spider-Man, the Peter Parker is like the co-star in his own game. You know? I don't know if they do that on purpose. It's a whole different universe, so I understand how that works. I mean, I do like some things about it, and there's other things about it that I don't like. Take out those freaking Mary Jane freaking missions. I hate those things. There's no need to be like, yo, she can go around, and I did it.
She's so badass though.
She could go around and just take out all Craven's freaking hunters with no problem. By herself with just a stupid little gun. Yeah, okay. Because these guys are professionals. They fly down in the middle of the neighborhood with freaking lasers and night vision goggles. They can see through walls, but they couldn't find her going around zapping people with a cheap gun. That's it. Take those out, and the game will be perfect. Get out, and I didn't even get up to the missions where you gotta do Miles' girlfriend. I heard that's even worse. So, otherwise, I do like the game.
What's
Right. So
you're going for right now?
What is it?
What's Amazing Spider-Man 300 going for right now? Direct edition, not newsstand. Yeah, and a 9.8.
I'd have to look. It's probably.
I'm gonna say last time I was up. Yeah, last time I was up at a 9.8 was about 3,200.
And I just wanted to tell you quickly about the 1 in 25 Ultimate Fallout 4, just to show you comparatively how much its percentage-wise dropped compared to the cover A.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because that book was way worth more.
So first sale of the year that was recorded was 43,200, which to date is still the record high sale for that book of all time.
That's the person we get to laugh at for all time.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I don't know. He still doesn't have anything on Jake Paul. How much he spent on that NFT.
And the most recent sale, which does not record on GPA because it was a Comic Link sale, they don't have an affiliation with them, which is what I talked about earlier on my IG post, was the 16,500 sale.
Whoa.
So when you calculate that, it comes to a 62% decrease on investment. And so believe it or not, the cover
that's what the guy heard.
A higher, the cover A has had a higher percentage points wise drop, 76% versus the 61 for the 1 in 25.
Damn.
Okay, but you can talk percentage points all you want. But if I just spent $43,000 on a book and it's now worth $30,000 less, like we can say percentage wise it's better.
As an investor, you have to see it.
30,000, holy shit!
As you bought a book for $2 and you sold it for $1,000 versus, and that's what a ridiculous percentage point, versus you got $100,000 investment and it went up to $2 million. So it's you have to. And I guess in perspective, you have to kind of use percentage points. But yeah, you don't want to be that guy who had that $43,000 sale and now it's worth $16,000.
Because I would be saying the same thing. I said, look, according to Mark Spector Comics, my book is only down 62%. So get off my case, okay? It's only 30K. I can recover that. It's only gonna take me 10
That's
years.
like owning what is it? An Aston Martin. Those things depreciate like a rock.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
you just
there was
a guy.
I remember watching Top Gear and he was saying how he bought this Aston Martin for $140,000. 3 years later, he goes to sell it. There's 10,000 miles on it, and he got 14,000. Not even 40,000.
14,000.
Like,
don't be that dumb
shit.
guy. Don't pick it up at the high end. Wait till it's on sale.
Yep.
You know.
All right, let's get into Amazing Spider-Man 300, and I can give you the 9.8 numbers. I think they do report newsstand. They do. Okay, perfect. They separate newsstand and direct.
Nice.
Great.
Good.
Last sale. Want any guess?
Last sale of a newsstand or a direct?
Direct.
For a 9.8, I'm gonna say 2,500.
Yeah, I was gonna say about 2,400.
You're pretty close. It was 2,700.
Nice. See, but that book is. I feel that value on that book is pretty consistent with where it should be. For the age
fact
of the book.
that book has been historically less over the past 5 years than Ultimate Fallout 4 says something about the market.
It says something about Ultimate Fallout 4, which is why you're seeing exactly what's going on now. Because it's a false grail. Well, I'm calling it as it is. This is a false grail, and this is the result of that false grail. People bought into it when it was too high, realized they got a rock now, and they either stuck with it. No one's going to pay for it. Economy's going to be worse within a year. Holidays are coming up. That book is going to keep tanking and tanking. Yeah, Mark Spector, we should do a special on this. I definitely want to start keeping track of this because this is interesting to me because I already know, and I've been saying this, I just haven't been keeping direct track of it. But it's falling the way I thought it was going to fall because, like I said, it's everything that's lining up. We got practically wars going on.
The high price for the year for that book is just shy of 4,500.
Wow.
And the most recent being 2,700. So you're talking about a 40% drop.
That's
so it's
crazy.
more consistent. Not as bad as a drop as obviously Ultimate Fallout 4.
Yeah,
but 40% correction is actually, considering with COVID, it's not too bad.
Yeah, that's about what the book should be. Honestly, look, we already know. Let's just be real about this. We already know that Ultimate Fallout 4 is not worth that much. But that 40% drop on Amazing Spider-Man 300 actually should level it off to what it's supposed to realistically be at. Yeah. So with the prices you're seeing now, this is the realistic price for that grail. Now, Ultimate Fallout's not done yet. That's going to keep adjusting. So whoever's looking to pick one of these up, give it some time because trust me, you're going to keep seeing this adjusting. But like I said, this grail is going to be consistent over time. No matter what happens, this thing will hold its value, you know? And I just can't wait to get my 9.8 put in. It was just something that I've literally never opened. I think I took it out of one plastic to change out the plastics because I was doing my boxes just to refresh I don't know if you guys had your comics that long, but trust me, you'll get to a point where you'll have to refresh your comic. Oh, Jesus, that's a nightmare. That took me forever to do. No, it is. It never stops. And it's just something that I dread doing, but I've done them all, and now I already know. I got at least a good 20 plus years on them. Because I had comics that were so old in my comic, and they were in good condition, nothing wrong with them. But the bags were so old. The bags were getting old. And I had them completely put away. Still, the bag looked dusty. I'm like, Jesus, what the hell? I had these completely put away, no problem. Comics in good condition, nothing wrong with it, but the bag's old. It got that old comic smell. I'm like, oh, good stuff.
Do you guys want to take any guesses what the COVID record price is for Amazing Spider-Man 300 and a direct 9.8?
Oh, in a direct, I'm going to say the record was probably about $7,000 for a direct.
I was going to say, I thought it was between 6 to 8 last I knew.
A little bit higher.
But
about
higher than 8?
9,200.
Whoa.
Wow.
Damn. Wait, hold on.
So
I think I
that's
have that, but not at a 9.8.
I
Hold on.
I calculated that it comes to, with the current
Where
sale,
are you?
70% loss.
that's insane.
Crazy. I don't know who would have paid that 9,000 for that, but holy crap.
Again, like
Um,
that's not a $9,000 book. It's an amazing book.
no,
Don't get me wrong. But like if you look at the very first appearance of Spider-Man, and Spider-Man is a
Yeah,
flagship
baby.
superhero. He always has
Woohoo!
been. You look at him and you're like, okay, Amazing Fantasy 15, 9.8. It doesn't exist yet, or it hasn't gone up on the market as far as I remember. But there's like 4 in existence. The highest sale for a 9.6 was like a couple $1,000,000. So if you look at the
Damn.
first appearance of him, and then you start looking at the first appearance of like Punisher, not as big of a hero, but within a Spider-Man book, again, it's
sure.
another, like, that's where I would start to say, okay, Amazing Spider-Man 129, that's going to be a big book. Then about probably the next big book after that is the first appearance of Black Cat. Then you've got the first appearance of Hobgoblin. Then you've got the Black Suit. Then you've got 300. And if you're seeing
That's like
that one of these
month.
books that are further down the line than 129 or I think it's 192, if you're seeing that those books are less expensive than these more modern books, you know there's a problem with the market. You know there,
Yeah.
especially with how big the print runs were for
Right,
those
right,
80s and
exactly.
90s era books.
Yes, exactly. That's another thing. The print one was ridiculously high. How are you having
Yeah.
this so? The value is not based on the high print run. It's actually based on a lower print run. This is why
Yep.
older books are worth more, because most people never kept them. This is why you
Yep.
have value in comics. Not every comic you print is going to be valuable. Look at this one right here. So this one is not a 9.8, but it is a newsstand, and it's signed. This is like Stan Lee's signature, and you can see
Oh,
that's when he was getting real old.
Yeah.
That's,
that one's direct.
yes, that is direct. And also on this one, oh, I'm sorry, this is direct. Why is it newsstand? I think I have one, but this one
He's just
also
so
has
excited.
this one also has an in page. The first page is signed by Tom McFarlane. I'll put this so you guys
Okay.
can read that. So it's like Tom McFarlane signed the first page, on the inside is Stan Lee signed the cover. So yeah, this is cool. Yeah, so I think I do have a direct one somewhere. I don't know why I thought that was direct.
Now, I looked up the newsstand. Now, the newsstand is way more expensive than the direct edition, which I
Which
kind of don't
makes a ton of
really
sense.
agree. I don't really agree with.
Really?
Well, okay, so I guess my question to you guys is, what would you value a newsstand book and a times multiplier versus a direct in any
Oh,
given
that's
book?
easy. I'm gonna give it a 4 to 1, and I'm gonna explain to you why. Because at least I know in this area, in the tri-state area, the reason why these books are more valuable is because back in the 80s, and I know this was a fact because I used to grab these books back then, and I made a lot of deals with like newsstand people. They would take these books and destroy them. Newsstands were gone. They're destroyed.
Sure.
So they're destroyed at a higher rate than the directs were. These directs were at mostly comic shops. So at the time, the kids were being told, buy from the comic shop because you got the Spidey symbol there. You know. So yeah, of course. But then I was like, but wait a minute. Wouldn't it make more sense to buy from a newsstand, because they turned these comics in? And I remember, even as a kid growing up, I remember seeing comics thrown away, and I got some of them in the dumpsters. Pages cut off. This is what they used to do to comics. They used to halfway destroy them. That's why you see some collectors, they'll sell them. I wouldn't sell it like that, but I see collectors sell them like, yeah, with the pages cut off, because this is how comics were disposed of. These are all newsstand comics, pretty much. So the reason why you got that value is because they are rarer. I mean, they literally have destroyed a lot of them, but the smart people kept them. The smart people
I think it's
knew.
something.
Like, okay, this is more rare.
For every 10 or
Yeah.
20 direct editions, there was one newsstand printed.
Yeah, it's
Not
like a
like
10
even
to 1 or
before they
20
were
to 1 print.
destroyed. Yeah, it's
Because you
some
gotta
it's
understand, it's a
somewhere
lower
within
print.
there. Yeah.
Okay, so when a comic shop had to make an order for a comic book, back then, because I know I used to work in a comic shop when I was 13, so I had a real old school boss, and he taught me the whole business. And the way they would do it is, if you're a comic shop, you'd have to order like 250 of said print. Let's say Spider-Man, 250 prints of that. When you're a newsstand, you had to buy 25 to 50. You weren't required to buy any more than that because they didn't print for that. Those books were completely separate. So the newsstand, which was like any bodega, any newsstand, was a different print from the straight traditional print that was mostly given out in the comic stores. But those guys had to buy more, so then that's why you have a lot more of those versus the newsstands. And like I said, they were very adamant on. A lot of these guys didn't realize what they had. You know, a lot of these guys, like in New York City, you got a lot of guys who were Arabic, and I had to teach them growing up, like, yo, these are actually worth money if you just do it right. And I was telling them, grab me these books, put them to the side for me. I'll show you which ones I think is gonna be worth money. And I started teaching people when I was younger what I thought about these comics. And I had these guys that they would get these newsstand ones, pristine. They didn't mess around. They would handpick what they wanted because Marvel would come. They would drop, and these guys would go through them, handpick them, and take what they needed. They're 50, and then they would just go to the stores. Like it was literally like I had a friend who had a comic book shop, and 2 doors down was a newsstand, and I would go buy my books from there as well. And I'd done that for years because I always had a feeling, like I said, less print run means it's going to be more valuable in the end.
And
so
even
that's what it comes down to. With that, only because of the fact, like I said, it's just a rarer print run. That's it. It's just a lower print run naturally. Marvel and Diamond had a contract with the newsstands and stores back then that were different from the contracts they had with the comic book stores. Comic book stores had to buy more, pretty much.
And then even rarer than that was the Canadian price variant.
Oh yeah, and I have a couple of those
Canadian
too,
price variants were up there in price for a while.
Yeah, I mean, like, I had guys that used to do that in the city. Like, they used to drop these Canadian variants. They used to get them sometimes by accident. And they know, they're like, well, they just drop it in there. Sometimes I find them. I'm like, oh, yo, this is a Canadian variant. They're like, yeah, take it. No problem. I have a Black Cat like that. I forget the number, but it was like the second appearance of Black Cat, and it's a Canadian variant. Yeah.
So what do you guys want to look at next?
When I got that. I was like,
so I looked up.
Oh, I'm down for whatever.
The most recent 9.8 newsstand of that book sold for $13,000.
Wow.
Which is, so I calculated it versus that 2,700 for the direct, and it imputes about a 4.8 to 1, ratio.
Yep.
Which you were right, pretty close on there, 4 to 1 price difference.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I figured. Yeah. Yeah, because I said I've been doing this for the longest, so it's all in my head, and I've been doing this for so damn long. Like, I know when things are going to go on sale, and I've collected enough to understand how this market works. I treat this like a market. I treat it like an investment market, like a lot of people do, but they do it in the wrong sense. Yeah. Like I keep saying, you can't jump on everything when everything's hot. You got to wait. You got to wait till things cool off. Only do investments that are going to make sense at the time. They're all out there, believe me. Even during this whole mess, I was finding books for sale left and right, I mean, shout out to you. I got a nice grail from you, and I love it. I think it was a great price. Hey, it was a good sale. It was made good business for me, made good business for you. And I didn't even turn in the original one I still have. I still have my 9. It's funny, I actually still have that book, too. I haven't turned that in yet. And shout out to Mark Beatty. I got to meet him at Comic-Con. That was dope. I told him, I got your Secret Wars 1. I said, the way you like to sign it. He goes, on the shield? I said, yep. That's his thing. He said, on the shield.
Yeah, he likes
getting older now,
That's his thing.
Yeah, I told him, I said, I have it signed the way you like it. He goes, on the shield? Yeah. I said, yep, it's beautiful on there. Man,
Pumpkin Party?
Go get it.
Where's that from?
This one's from Maine.
Okay.
Lone Pine Brewing Company out of Portland, Maine.
Nice.
Here it is.
Pretty good.
Boom! Look at that. With the Mark Beatty on the shield.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Look at that John Beatty on the shield. So dope.
Typically, I feel that...
Thank you, Dave. Always love this book. Oh, I love
it. I'd much rather...
The shooter, I like how shooter slices it here. And I'm going to get the other signature there. Because we got to get one more signature. So it's going to... Right in that yellow Beatty right there.
I want to meet Mike Zach and get the... And get it signed. That's the only one I don't... I got a dual signed by Shooter and Beatty there. but
Yeah.
Zek wasn't signing in that same show.
Yeah, so that's where I'm gonna request when I do this and I send it in that Zek signs it right there. That'll be dope. Shooter Zek and BD in the middle. You know, I wanted to take video with Mr.
I brought some
So
Halloween, horror related books if you guys wanna.
Yeah. Bring them out because I got
You,
some stuff to show too. I
you
want
guys
to see what
got
you
some
got.
books too.
definitely.
I got an all variety from golden age to modern, like horror, gory, whatever, in the season type of books. So I'll show some.
Yeah.
And spoilers
I
later,
got
why are you
some
showing those? I'm
horse.
not sure. That's sick. I love the black, white, and red books. Black, white,
Yeah,
and blood
Yeah, I
books.
always liked them.
gotta
Oh wait,
gotta show off some. And this is I think this is Eddie
I
Granoff
do have
cover.
some stuff actually.
Okay.
Yeah,
Spoilers later.
Yeah, maybe I think so.
Do you think the
Yo.
first appearance of Punisher is overpriced, or do you think it's right where it should be, based on the key that it's at?
I think it's maybe a little overpriced right now, just a little. I think it's got to come down just a little. But like I said, this is the effect of an artificially inflated market. But it's a pretty significant older book. So I would say like I don't know. I just feel like I would have to see by next month. But I think it's just a little too high at its current price right now. I think if it came down a little bit, it'll be right at level. I mean, things are starting to level off with everything, and that's what it's coming down to, especially around the holidays. This is the best time to buy. Like, if you're looking to buy, I always buy like grails for myself around the holidays. This is the time I always get like the best deals because, like I said, people need. You gotta understand. You have a book laying there. Your grandfather. Yeah.
That's why I like going to Rhode Island Comic Con, because Rhode Island Comic Con is the first weekend of November, and it's essentially one of the last shows of the season. For comic shows. There's not many more shows after that, that go really.
Yeah,
into
that's true.
November.
It's just a dry,
cold
winter.
You do get some pretty good deals on it. Hey, who's this? Oh, it's Steve.
Okay.
What's going on, Steve? How much?
I'm trying to see if I can find.
Who buys NFTs though?
What the hell is an NFT?
What up?
NFTs.
Yeah,
I thought that was a good idea.
I think the craziest part about Punisher, like the first appearance of Punisher, obviously he is a very iconic hero, and like there's no denying that I believe he's one of the first anti-heroes that Marvel ever did. That became big. Like he came before Deadpool, he came before Venom. He was up there in like the first like let's just go raw with the character, let's do all this shit to him. But I think the craziest part to me is there's not many big names on this book. Like, so the artists were Dave Hunt, Gil Kane, Ross Andrew, Gasper Saldino, John Costanza.
Gil Kane's a legend.
Yeah, but like,
that's about it though.
Like when you ask someone like,
that's about it.
Who are the big names in comics? Does Gil Kane ever hit the top 5? Like that's what I'm saying. Like,
who wrote the book? Wasn't it Jerry who wrote the book? Was it Conway?
I think it was
Jerry Conway. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you got Conway.
Right. So you had a legendary writer on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but that's it. So I understand what he's saying. Like, as far as star power goes to a book, that's why I feel like the book is a little overpriced, even at its current rate right now. Because the star power isn't really there, but it is a first appearance of a major character winds up spinning off into for the modern market, definitely. I just feel like I said, it's just a few $100 higher right now than it should be. If it comes down a few hundred, I think it'll be level to where it's supposed to be. You want to have consistency with these grails.
We might be at the leveling point for that book right now, depending on the grade you're looking for.
That's what I'm.
So I just picked a random grade for looking at. I picked an 8.5. Mm-hmm. High, obviously higher end for the spectrum. That book in an 8.5 in 2020 sold for $2,000. That was the high price. The
Yeah,
low price currently for that book in 2023 is 1920.
yeah.
So we might
See
be
Yep.
at the
that
bottom for that
that
book
thing?
right now.
That's
Granted, specific for that grade,
hmm.
but
Yep.
I'm gonna call that book about a 1500 by December because I just have a feeling
it
that
could
it's
be. Yeah,
just.
it could
I
be.
just feel like it's just a few hundred too high right now. I just feel that. I mean, will it? But that's one of those books. Like if you can grab it for that price
Mm.
at that grade, that's a good deal because I can't see that book going down. Not that like you just showed. And this is what's important about the grails, especially the old school grails. They tend to hold their consistent value over time.
Yep.
Whether the market's going up and down, everything's going to go up and down with the market, but it's about consistency and holding the value of something, you know. And
Yeah.
yeah, these older books seem to hold their value quite well. And like we were talking about before, with these modern grails, like it just does not make no sense. Don't even get me started with acetate gate. That makes no sense. Are those books still selling for
That's all
$20,000?
FOMO.
What the
That's
hell
all
was that
FOMO.
about? What
There's
the hell
that.
was all that
There's
about?
the M&M
I
cover of
guarantee
Amazing Spider-Man. There's what's the
I
new one
didn't
right
even
now?
look at that.
I
Screw
remember
that.
There's something
that.
that
Yeah.
just
Screw
came
you,
out.
Eminem, and
Oh, the Bryce
fuck do I
comic.
want Eminem on
That
my
one was
comic for?
insane.
Oh, that yeah, the Bryce comics. Yeah, I feel bad for Bry too because he got a
Yeah.
lot of bad rap for that book too. That's what sucks.
He's been getting a lot
Yeah,
of
and
bad
you
rap
want to
for
know
the past
something? It's
year.
not his fault, but
Yeah, this past
yeah,
year in general. Yeah.
it's not his
Yeah.
fault, but he just got caught in the middle of some shit, you know?
Yep.
That's what happens, man. You gotta, like,
Yeah.
I do business, I try to keep the circle small, but I always have that fear too, like, gotta be careful who you do
Yep.
business with, you know? You just have to
Yep.
be, like, shout out to you, Bryce, good dude. I like his stuff, But yeah, that was really, like, what happened to him was fucked up. Oh my
It,
god. I was like,
I
oh my
want
god.
him to be
Poor
more
Bryce.
transparent about how he got so many 9.9s and 10s on white and black covers. Like that's what I want to know.
Yeah,
How?
because come on,
How?
It's
that's what made
the
me laugh more than anything else. Because come on,
Yeah.
man, never in the history of anything have I ever seen somebody get 10 9.9s back. Get out of here. 10 in one
yeah,
shipment. Yeah, sure, and he had more than 10. So come
Yep.
on, dude.
that
Come on, Bryce.
yeah,
Who are you talking to over there?
I didn't have a copy of it in hand, but I would imagine the paper quality was probably top notch as well.
Probably. Yeah. I mean, We
For
Live
9.9,
is
I would
done
hope so.
by Image, I want to say, or no, Aftershock.
What's that?
Who does We Live?
We Live
We live? I don't know. I honestly
is
don't.
I think it's
It,
Image, right?
it's one of the big
Could
one
be.
of the
I have
big
the book
independents.
downstairs too. I was just looking at it before I came upstairs.
Aftershock.
Um, is it Aftershock?
Yep.
Okay. I
And
love that series.
Okay, there we
oh,
go.
it's phenomenal. And the biggest thing about their comics is they always have very well printed books. So I get it. Like I understand that you could
Yes.
get 9.8s easily, but 9.9s and 10s are just so unattainable. To have 25% of the census be covered by
I just
9.9s and 10s on one book, just it seems shady,
I hope when
for lack of a better term.
well I hope well when I CGC my comics and they come back 9.9, it won't be shady. They will be totally honest. Cause I think my books are 9.9. They could be 10s, honestly. Some of them can be. Some of them are regular books, but I did
It,
find about maybe out of the whole. Cause like I
your
understand
paper
how
quality is
printing goes
amazing,
now that
though.
I've done it. So yeah,
You want to see
thank you. I
another book
understand.
in the series that was super overhyped
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
ended up not being anything? Is this series,
Yes.
House of Slaughter.
Oh yeah, House of
Yep.
Slaughter.
Uh,
Yep.
this was I think this was the cover A or what, I forget what it was, but the foil variant. But obviously had to show this off because of the Halloween and stuff like that. Great. If you never read Something is Killing the
Yeah.
Children, it was a fun read. I
Yep.
haven't read it recently. I don't think I think it's fallen off quite a bit, but that was so much hype when that first issue came out. and people were buying the 1 in 1000s, thinking it was gonna blow up, and obviously it didn't pan out.
Well, not just thinking it was going to blow up, but thinking that all of a sudden, because there was this green light for a Netflix show that
Hmm.
never went anywhere, people are
Yeah,
like,
Oh
oh,
yeah, yeah.
well,
You know
once
that.
they do this, they're immediately going to do that. And like James Tinian was just so coming out of left field with his ideas of he's going to start his own comic book company. He's going to do his own thing. He's going to do, and everyone's like, hold on, whoa, 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 whoa. Where's that coming from? Like,
speaking of James Tynion,
There we go.
closet.
that.
There you go.
So like
Go ahead.
he was ahead of his time with those ideas, but at the same time, it's like he got a lot of flack really quick because he's working for the two top notch comic book companies, Image or I think it's Image that does House of Slaughter, and then DC.
Yeah.
And like you can't work for some of the biggest in the company and then be like, you know what, I'm gonna go on my own. You're gonna
Yeah,
burn a
that was
lot of bridges real quick.
he's one of the
This is
premier,
why I did it the reverse way.
he's one of the current premier like horror writers out there.
Yeah.
There's not many good ones out there currently. You could probably think of 4 or 5. That's about it.
Yep.
That are pretty
And
solid.
the amount of people
Hmm.
who got into horror just because they thought he's doing it, so I'm going to get into it and I'm going to spec on this book and this book is going to blow up and I'm going to make money was insane. Like it did not matter if that book was actually a good read or not. Many people I feel never even read it.
Yeah, see,
And
I don't
there's
personally
like an
care
It,
because
8
horror, it
there's like
catches my
6th,
attention.
7th
I
and
could
8th
care
printings
less
of
if
the first
there's
book.
oh yeah, there's 8 printings, I believe. Yeah, 8 or 9, I forget. But yeah, I like horror, especially modern horror, because the reads are pretty good.
Yeah.
Um, and then I collect pre-code horror for the covers, and not
Okay.
necessarily the reads, because the reads aren't necessarily as good.
It's not all
Um,
jump scares anymore, that's for sure.
yeah. But like, see, like a book like
it's
this,
not
this is
old
just a
school Resident
random,
Evil.
Yeah.
like, this is just a random
That's
modern
sweet.
title by Source Point Press, a really small publisher. Nightmare Man has no spec behind it, just a fun horror read.
Yeah.
Just what I like to enjoy, and collect. And then versus something like this that has a lot more value, and it's a
Yep.
cool pre-code horror.
Oh yeah. There we go.
From
There we go. Some
from
golden age right there. Yeah, baby.
1951. This
That,
is what I like. I
that's
like
awesome.
to collect these pre-code stuff.
Nice.
I got a bunch of this stuff.
Yeah, I love the golden
like
age.
just random pre-code horror.
Wow.
Just cool covers. This is Web of Evil.
Those are all in
dope.
really nice
I
shape
like that
too.
one.
Number 4.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I think it's his early 50s, if I'm not mistaken, as well. But just
I gotta
just
come out
cool,
to your
like,
way with about $2,000. I'm gonna clean up.
like just
That's
a
nice. Yeah.
a nice graveyard cover. This is beyond number. Geez, I don't even know what number this is. They didn't even put the issue number on the cover. I have to open this up. Sometimes I
It's
write
like
notations on the
symbiotic.
back, but no, beyond number 12 from 1952. Just a nice old book, just a cool cover.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
But I'll show off, since you got me on the spotlight. I'll show off some more pre-code stuff or random stuff.
Let's do it.
This was one of my most recent pre-code pickups. I picked this up earlier this year. This is a Vault of Horror.
Okay.
Classic
That's dope.
bondage, hanging, being chained covers. It's from late in the Golden Age. This is 1954.
That's a good
This
point,
is
Cray
one of the
Cray.
later issues. This is Vault of Horror number 39. Done by a classic pre-code horror artist. This is Johnny Craig cover.
Nice.
So, really cool. One of my favorite pre-code horror. I like these transformation covers. that you start off with one image and you end up with a final
Hmm.
piece. And this is Witchcraft issue number 6.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
you start off with the
I see what you
face
Oh,
mean.
there,
nice.
Yep.
and he
Yeah.
transforms into this skull. And it's another graveyard, cover. This is from 1953, and really tough. If you can find these, the publisher is Avon. If you can find any of these Avon published books, really, really tough to find. A lot of them didn't survive, so look out for those
Any reason
if
for
you
that?
can find them. The publishers went out of business. It went out of business. A lot in the early 50s, a lot of these smaller publishers didn't survive. And then
Yeah.
once the code was established because of the seduction of the innocent, a lot of these really were off of pre-code, horror, sci-fi stuff that,
Yeah.
just wouldn't make the cut. So they
Yeah, the
ended up
whole,
just,
yeah, well, that was, that's it.
lower print runs. They didn't get a lot of sales in general. They ended up going under.
Hmm.
Speaking of
Marvel got
graveyard
around
cover,
the
this is
horror
another one.
by calling their stuff, yeah. See,
Master
Marvel
of
got around
Comics.
that by that's how
Yeah,
pretty much Amazing
yeah,
Fantasies began, because it was still a horror comic, but they were calling it
Yeah.
it
Amazing
was. Yeah,
Fantasies,
it
so
was.
they could get away with still publishing horror comics. Yep,
Yep.
that's a fact. So yeah, because everybody had to comply with the Comic Code Authority. I know because I have a Golden Age book, and it's literally like November of
Hmm.
'58, but it has it's an Adventures comics, right? But the reason why it has the comical authority on it is because these books were already like, adventure comics, they're children's
Yeah.
books already. So as like they were already set up, so they told the comic code, well, we could put it on this comic if you want, and they did. But technically, there's a couple of books that fall under November to December that got that comic code authority on there that are still considered golden age books, because they didn't get it because they were mandated to do so. They were ready because their books were geared at a
Yeah.
younger audience. Like the Adventure Comics is for the
Yeah.
younger. It's a younger version of Superman. So they were already ready. So if you look, you'll find these Golden Age books out there that people just think are Silver Age books, and I grab them whenever I see them because I know the difference. I'm like, yep. And you could go to the year 1959 when the official Comic Code Authority took hold, and the beginning of the Silver Age is what. And like what David was saying, that's how a lot of these companies went out of business. Marvel figured
Yeah.
it out. This is what
Yeah.
Marvel was going through. This is how you got the modern Marvel, because of the Comic Code Authority.
Yep.
Believe it or not, like I hated the Comic Code Authority, the history of it, but then I started to think about it, and without that, you wouldn't have modern Marvel. You already had DC, so
True.
that was already established, but you didn't have Marvel, not like it is in this formation now. You had Marvel was pretty much horror comics, Human Torch, some Thor. That's it. You just had mixes of everything, and
The original Groot.
so So when you sitting here and oh my god, right? The original Groot, he's like a freaking giant. So when you're sitting here and you're trying to figure out what to do, this
Yeah, it
is how
was
creativity begins.
from this title, Tales to Astonish.
Yep.
Nice. Yes. Tales
It's
of
another one.
Astonishment.
It's
Yes.
another.
Oh
This is
wow.
early
So
Silver Age. This is a 10 center. Another,
Yeah,
like I said,
I want that one.
transformation cover. He's looks like a scientist. He drinks a little vial of something and he turns into a
Yep.
gorilla.
Yep.
Gorilla Man.
So
That's what's up.
Pretty
going
cool.
off of what Cray Cray's
This
saying
is
and going off of some of these
this
books that we're
few issues
showing
right before our first Ant-Man.
is
Oh, that's what's
basically
up.
that's the reason why a lot of these books early on were a different story with the same title year after year after year. And that's why like Journey into Mystery was where Thor got his start, but Journey into Mystery
Yeah.
way before Thor had nothing to do with Thor. And then it was like,
No,
okay, here's
right.
Thor. Thor's doing really well. Let's give him his own comic. And that's where it gets really interesting with the legacy numbers, because I believe the legacy numbers for Thor, like I think if Thor's like Journey into Mystery 129, I'm not sure if that's the actual number. But like the Thor 1 would then be 130, and then Thor 2 is 131. Like it's really weird the way that worked out, but it worked.
Yeah, you see
Yeah.
that
I mean,
that was a common occurrence in the Golden Age. They did that
Yeah.
continuously, where one title would end and continue in different titles. That
Yep.
happened
Like the
all
Human
time.
Torch
had,
was
like, in
notorious for that
issue
as well.
5 was the #1. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Human Torch was notorious for that as well. I mean, like, literally, like, that was their pretty much... That was, like, their original... Like, Human Torch goes back... Human Torch, it's pretty much Human Torch. You had Captain America. We're talking about World War II Captain America.
Yep.
Yep.
You also had... what was the other character? We were just talking about it. But anyway, there's a couple that you already had in Marvel, but they weren't, like... Oh, and Thor. Okay, so... Those three right there, they were always like mixed up, but then I think what started happening is, like I said, because of the Comic Con Authority and they needed to get away from the horror, you can see throughout the years as you go through all the Amazing Fantasies, they start to become less and less horror, and then you get Amazing Fantasies 15 that has nothing to do with horror, it's just this new character. And what was funny about that Amazing Fantasies 15 was, that was going to be the last one, they knew it, so Stan Lee was like, well, let's try our new character here, see what happens. And this was already something that him and Steve Ditko were working on for about a year. And they already had everything, the script and everything. So they were like, we can split this up into 2 books. First book will be his intro. And then we'll throw the last part of Amazing Fantasies 15 on there, the horror part. And that is the last, like, not the Spider-Man part, but the horror part. That's the last time Amazing Fantasies, any kind of horror was written in that form. That's the end of the Golden Age horror comic and the beginning of the Silver Age. That's why I think Amazing Fantasies 15 is one of those special keys, because it's like the end of one and the beginning of a whole new freaking era that they didn't know if that comic was going to be well received, and people love the cover. And I'm telling you right now, as a comic creator, get the covers right. I'm telling you, covers are everything. That's what I care about. Like, you know, they said never judge a book by its cover. You gotta always judge a book by its cover. Exactly.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
What's that you got there? Master Comics. Nice.
Master Comics. So this character right here is one of my favorite Golden Age superhero characters outside of, like, the main proper, like, you know, Batman, Superman, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
This is from Master Comics, which is a Fawcett publication. This is Captain Marvel Jr. You've probably heard of Captain Marvel from the Golden Age, the original Shazam.
Of course.
And this is Captain Marvel
I have
Jr.
a couple
here,
of those.
And this is Master Comics 133. It's the final issue in the run. This came out in 1953. Another cool
nice.
full moon there. You got a graveyard cover.
Yeah.
You got Captain Marvel Jr. hiding there. It's pretty cool. I don't know. I got something for these, I guess, graveyard covers, because I got another one coming up too. And this one, you could tell why the Seduction of the Innocent was introduced, because of this, a cover like this. This is Strange Fantasy.
Nice.
Issue number 13. This is from 1954. Pretty rare to see pink covers in Golden Age, especially pre-code horror. You don't see too many of them. But you got this Lady in Red. You see a lot of Lady in Reds in distress in Golden Age covers, in bondage.
Yeah.
And then you got this creature holding some type of weapon. It looks like he's about to cut her throat. So covers like this is why the code was introduced.
Oh, the excuse of the code to be introduced. That's what I always say.
Exactly.
That was the excuse.
I love EC.
Oh, there we go. That's what I'm talking about right there.
They love EC. This is
Fuck
Tales from the Crypt.
Tales from the Crypt. That's
that
right there.
Low grade, but it
doesn't matter.
Presents well.
Low grade. It's a Tales from the Crypt.
Issue 31 looks like this guy's about to cut his hands off. Pretty cool cover.
Yeah, I love those old school Tales from the Crypts. The best, the absolute best.
Oh yeah, they got some great covers. What else do I got? I got some newer stuff here for you guys. Legion of Monsters. This is Marvel Premiere, issue number 28. First team.
Oh, okay. I like that. Yeah.
This book became hot a while ago when obviously this character came in with the Werewolf by Night series.
Have you guys watched the color one yet?
Which one?
No.
The color one, color version of Werewolf by Night.
They did it in color?
Yeah.
Oh no, I didn't see it.
I didn't even know that.
I liked the black and white. I thought it was pretty sick.
I thought it was cool in black and white, and
Yeah,
there
I
were
thought it
some
was
things
sick
that like
too,
I
right?
didn't even realize. Like one of the things that someone pointed out to me, actually, it was one of my students. He pointed it out to me the first time we were watching it. He goes, you know, that's like how they used to say where one act
Nice.
ended. They put a little
Also the
cigarette burn,
sequence.
and
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, I didn't even realize that. Like we
Yeah,
went
yeah,
back
yeah.
and
That's
rewatched it, and they were
that's
using like
that's
old
old.
school tactics like that.
Yeah, that's old
Oh
school.
yeah.
That's old school filmmaking. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's this little cigarette burner on usually on the left corner of the film. You can
Yep.
catch it for a second. That's the real old school right there. Yeah, your students got a good eye. Cause I remember seeing. I mean, Star Wars was like that. Trust me, the old school Star Wars was exactly like that. No film didn't have it. No film didn't have that. You know, it was every film I've ever seen growing up in that time. They all had the same thing. You know, you could just catch it. It was something that I always just caught. So when later on I hear when people say, "Oh, you know, I saw this weird thing," I'm like, nah, I've always seen that. It's just something that I always thought was normal in the film industry back then. And then they were like, that's when I found out. Yeah, that's exactly what that is. Oh, nice,
That's
nice.
cool.
That's the Spectre.
And for, yeah, I love the Spectre because especially in the Bronze Age, because Jim Aparo drew the cover for a bunch of these adventure comics in the
Yeah.
400s, and he made the Spectre look really cool.
Yeah.
It
So
almost
smooth.
gave it like a little bit of a horror vibe to it, you know. And he did some great,
Yeah, that's
great cover
dope.
art in the 70s. So this is Adventure Comics issue 439. So nice cover.
Yeah, those are dope. That's what's up. I'm looking for some horror
Probably-
stuff. I can't find it.
Probably my favorite Marvel DC Bronze Age horror cover or like character is Frankenstein. So you got
Oh, that's what's
Monster
up.
of
Yeah,
Frankenstein. This is issue number 1. This is out of 9/4.
nice.
Just a nice, cool monster cover. You see Frankenstein there and his creator. So and one of the great Bronze Age Marvel cover artists is Mike Blue. This is a Mike Blue cover. So
Yes,
really, really
that's
cool.
what's up. I can't find no damn horror comics. Oh damn! I don't know.
I'm not a
Is
huge
this
collector
one
of
worth
horror.
anything? Is that one worth anything? The Joker #1? I don't know. I gotta put these away. This is just books that I have that I guess
Yeah.
it's gotta be worth something. I just got all these crazy books that are just laying around.
My tattoo
I'll show
artist
you guys
is a
some.
huge collector for.
They are how I will say they're horrors, but they're definitely Halloween themed. Let me put this stack of comics. I don't even know where the hell
This
I
is
got
another
this
like
stack from.
more of a
So I got grabbing
modern,
comics out of everywhere.
more of a modern.
Oh, I
horror. You
know
got
that one. I
Sleepwalker.
have that.
There's a big,
That's
big
one of my
cult following
favorites.
with this big cult following with this character and Darkhawk for some reason. These two characters always have a big cult following, and it's pretty funny. But it's a fun series.
Because Sleepwalker
Really
makes you
cool
freaking
covers.
live your nightmares. I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's cool. Cool cover. This came out in '91. Yeah, and I have one. I have
Yeah.
one raw as well that's signed by the artist. So it's one little title.
Nice. That made me want to pull out an old one I have here. It's not like a horror one, but this is pretty cool. Whoa, I gotta put these in plastic. This one right here. Thing #1, I gotta get that in plastic. That's a barcode one.
Oh,
And
there you
I
go.
got this one. I wanted to read it. Galactus. See, this is a horror to
Oh, that's
me.
a fun series
He'll
too.
come and eat your damn. Yeah, he'll come and eat your damn
Yep,
planet.
I like that cover.
You know.
And,
Oh yeah, this is dope. I did have two of these.
We can't show off a little bit of horror without showing off the main guy right here.
Oh yeah,
That's
there you
beautiful.
go. Werewolf by Night.
Doesn't get
First
Speaking of
place
speculation.
of the Moon Knight,
Great
baby.
bronze, fantastic Bronze Age title. If you don't ever have any of these issues, great Bronze Age horror title.
Yeah.
Obviously, the main character in here, like the most valuable character in the run, is Werewolf by Night issue number 32. This is,
Yeah.
first appearance of Mark Spector. If you're not familiar with this book at all, obviously you guys are, but
Of
That's
course,
from what,
yeah.
1982?
Appears on Moon Knight.
This is from 1975. Great.
75. Shit.
Wow.
Yeah, 75, and this is actually one of the UK pence variants.
Yeah, I
Oh,
can
The
see.
wow.
I
the
saw that
the
immediately.
9p on there.
9 pounds, whatever.
Yeah, nine pence as they called it.
9 pence, whatever
Oh,
they call
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
That's cool,
But
man.
yeah, that's my personal Grail book. It took me a few years to pick up that book,
And no, it's all good
but
though, Well, let's just hope it
uh,
doesn't go down anymore. Maybe I'll grab that one. I got.
that I would that book
Yeah.
has corrected so much. It's like a no-brainer. I'd buy another one if the right price came up because it's just gone down so
Yeah.
much.
See.
Yeah, what's the
Yeah,
price in that for
definitely.
that?
What's that?
What's the price in that for Werewolf by Night 32?
I'll tell you what I paid for this copy, which I paid. Now, granted, I paid when this book was on the upward trajectory because there was already
Okay.
talks of this book being potentially a show. This was a couple of years prior,
Yeah.
and it was already going up. You know, this character has already a huge cult following
Oh, for sure.
prior to any speculation.
Well, and
I
Jed
ended up
McKay had just
paying,
gotten his hands on the character too, and he's been doing a phenomenal
yeah,
job with
yeah, and
him.
the series has been good read.
Yeah,
I paid 1,800 for this book,
that's not bad.
and I think you can probably get one now for around $1,000 in the same grade. So the book's gone down, but just that's usually what happens whenever you have a show come out anyways.
Yep.
It goes down in value. Rarely does the book go back up continuously after a show does, premieres.
See, here's what
But
happened. Disney put this show out. That's what happened. Not your fault. Good
to me it
speculation,
doesn't
but
matter.
read it.
To me it doesn't matter. It's my personal Grail, so I
Yeah.
could care less. I'm not like in
Yeah,
the
no,
business
it's all
to
good. Listen,
resell
you're
it.
not like you're looking to
But
flip things. Yeah, exactly. Like
Yep.
that's what I tell people. Like people get upset. Look, like when I buy comics, right? I bought comics that went through the roof and then they lost value. I don't care. I'm not selling anything now. My goal,
Yeah.
we were talking about goals of collection. My goal is obviously to have the biggest Spider-Man collection, which I think I could break the record. But not only that, my goal is also to have such an eclectic collection of different books from, and I love everything Marvel, DC. I mean, like I got like right here like 2 big freaking whole stacks of CGCs just sitting there. I haven't even gone through yet. So I don't collect to make money. It's not about that
Yeah.
for me. For me, the collecting is about keeping it and being a comic collector, which is legal jargon for saying you are a hoarder, which is fine because you're hoarding stuff that's worth money. I can pick up. Look, I'll pick up something
Yeah.
right now in the layer that's probably worth like a ton of money. Let me see if I can just grab something. But that's what I'm saying. Like, there's just things laying around here that to the untrained eye will look like crap. But yeah, I mean that's the whole point. Look at this old one. I got an Adventures comics here laying around. Like these are things I gotta still put away, man. I like
Oh,
so
there you
many
go.
Silver Age books, Golden Age books laying around. I got a bunch of crap. I want to show off some covers if you guys don't mind.
Go ahead.
It's related to horror. It's my symbiotic covers that I had Nico Art Supreme retouch for me. Nico wanted to do like some holiday stuff, so I was like, yeah, I'm down. I got plenty of these things. So look, I'm gonna start out with this one. That one was turned into Frankenstein.
I like that one.
Nice.
So that's Frankenstein symbiotic. Yeah, that was cool. Obviously you'll know who this one is. So that's Dracula.
Good old Drac.
Nice.
Yeah, these came out dope. So these are not drawings, by the way. Nico paints. These are paintings on the cover. So this is all painted by hand. Yeah, dope. And I was happy because Nico's like, I really want to do this for the holidays. I'm like, really? Yeah. I got plenty of comics. So, this one right here, check this one out.
Beetlejuice?
Jack Skeleton.
Oh, Jack Skeleton.
Yeah.
Nice.
No. That's Jack Skeleton, right?
Oh, I thought that was Beetlejuice.
But don't worry. No, yeah, it is Jack Skeleton, right? But don't worry because it'll make sense the next one. That's Jack Skeleton. Here's Beetlejuice.
Okay.
There you go.
And Nico put the Beetlejuice in there. Dope.
So while you're showing those,
Yeah.
I've got my 361 over here, Amazing Spider-Man, that I graded.
Nice.
Got graded
I
at
have one up there.
9.6. I bought it right before, actually right as the first Venom movie was coming out. So that was probably 2019, I think it was. And I paid 170 raw and then graded it, knowing full well it probably wasn't coming back at 9.8, hoping it would be a 9.6. But at the time, 9.6s were going for right around $500. So I was like, oh shit, sweet. But I'll hang on to it for a couple years, see how it does. Right now it's going for about 180, which makes sense with the market correction. But I mean, I've got 200 into it, so if I've lost $20 on that book, is what it is. You know, I mean,
No.
Yeah.
You don't lose anything. You gotta understand. If you're in it for the long haul, you're never gonna lose. That's one.
true.
Because no matter what, 20 years from now, no matter what we're talking about, 20 years from now, everything will be twice as much as it is now.
Yeah.
Everything will go up.
Yeah.
Wages go up. Inflation goes up. Prices go up. So something that you're sitting on now, that's, I took a loss. Nah, you just sit on it long enough until you
for
recoup
sure.
your loss, and you can recoup the
Yeah,
collectibles.
it's only a
Oh,
loss.
so
if you
I got.
and
I'm
lose
gonna
money.
show this off while you guys are talking. Yeah. You guys talk. I'm gonna just be showing these off. Remember this one, Chris? We brought this to Comic-Con. This is also done by
Yep.
Nico, Artist Supreme. This is a Day of the Dead
That's sick.
one that Nico really wanted to do. This is how it
I
started.
definitely
actually.
think a
Nico said,
sugar
"I really
skull
wanna do a Day
of
the Dead one."
Einstein would look sick.
So let me see. Oh, so I'm gonna show you guys some cutesy ones. I thought these were funny, and I love it. So check it out.
Oh,
This
man.
is Pooh-size symbiotic. Yeah, so literally painted a Winnie the Pooh right over the damn thing, and it came out so nice. And this one too. This is like one of my favorite ones. I got this one today. It was like a Chucky
Yeah.
symbiotic. Dope.
That's cool.
And this one I like the best. I saw it immediately. I knew exactly what I was looking at. I was like, get the hell out of here. Squid Game symbiotic. Look, Nico put the
Oh, that's
mask,
funny.
my company symbol as the mask, and
That's sick.
it was Squid Game symbiotic. So I'm going to be doing a special on this with my fiance. We're going to be doing, she wants to get on camera. You know, ever since she saw your wife on camera, Mark, she's like, yeah, I got to get on camera too. I said, yeah, come on camera. It's fun. So I'm going to be doing a whole special on these books, talking about them and stuff. And because I got more covers coming. I think that Nico has a few more for me. I just gave Nico so many books. I said, here's a couple. Do whatever you want. And Nico's happy. Just been there for days. Coming out like a lab. It's like I don't see Nico for hours. Then I hear his footsteps. And I'm like, oh, it's Nico. Oh, I got these for you. Just drops them and then runs back upstairs. And I'm like, making more. So, hey, it's all good. Have a comic book factory over here. Comic book company. So, it is what it is. But,
Nice.
so I just want to let you guys know. Book 2 right now is literally finished. I'm probably going to finish it this weekend because I was going through like, okay, I have 6 books written now, but more of an outline. I'm fine-tuning everything as I go along. And I believe that you should write in this way. Have a backup, definitely. I'm not worried about it. Everybody's like, you should have, I do have backups, but I write as an outline, and then from there I fill in. So I was able to put together book 2, like, to my delight. Like if you like the way book 1 ended, book 2 is going to really kill you. Because I got this whole, it's more explanation of the what's going on in the book, more explanation of the powers, because I got that, I was trying to explain to people, like, what I was doing was trying to intro the character, and then as I'm going along, I'm going to be explaining more of their world and going into details. But the way that I writ this book out, and I have it done, and Waylon's doing the art, and Nico's going to start doing the lettering. I have an editor on the book, and I possibly have a photo editor as well. I'm going to see if I'm going to use this person. I may still do it myself, but I have now 4 people working on this book, and it's coming together like really. I mean, book 1 was good. Book 2 is going to just be freaking, it's just going to blow everything out the water. I can't wait. The cover and all, I'm going to share it with you guys in private, what the cover is going to be. Obviously, it's another homage cover. As a matter of fact, let's not even beat the bush. I'm making a homage Amazing Fantasies 15 cover for book 2. When you see how it comes out, you're going to be like, damn, it's beautiful. So, just like I made a homage cover to this is a Secret War 8 homage. I'm going to do the next cover. It's going to be Amazing Fantasies 15 homage. And it'll make sense when you see it, you know? So we already got that cover done, and that book's halfway done as far as the art goes. I'll have the book completely written by this weekend. And then from there, it's just a matter of getting my art back, and then I'm going to have... Because I could do lettering with computers, but my company is like what you said, Chris, and I like what you said because it's true. It's drawn by the hand, and you can see, you have to, edit photos to make things fit. But I try not to edit it to make it change the art. I want the art to still be the art. I want it to show that you can make a comic that's perfect and polished, but it's boring. They're boring. I look at them, they look generic to me. They don't look like any soul was put into them. It looks like you used too much. Like, there's nothing wrong with cleaning up your art, making a nice cover. Okay, perfect example. You ever watch the video game commercials? How pretty they are. Then you get to the game and it's alright. But that's the point. That's how you want to make comics. You don't want to make it to where the inside and the outside look like this crazy 3D computer generated art. Because honestly, anybody could do that. I don't need artists. I can actually do this alone. I have enough art skill to do it. But I value the artist because artists bring something intangible that you just can't get by using all of these filters and everything that everybody uses. And I don't crap on anybody because a lot of people use Procreate for comics, and I have no problem with that. I just say for my company, I wanted to have my own style, and this is my style. My style is I want artists to be raw. I want my books to look raw, but to look good at the same time. I want the covers to pop. I want everything to pop when you first look at it. Like when people see this, it pops, and I like that. And I've gotten nothing but praise for the book and continue to do the quality. I just want to make all my quality come up. That's the writing and everything. But I feel really excited about how the project is turning along. And shout out to you, Waylon Weathers, because I'm going to be putting up now. I've been saying this. I'm going to get it done tonight. As soon as I'm done with you guys, I'm going to finish my show. And because of David Nakayama, I mean, like, honestly, shout out to you, David Nakayama. He put over Symbiotic, like, forget about it. He really put that book over. And I didn't even, it wasn't like I said, hey, do me a favor. No. I filmed it live. I gave him my book. I said, look, just humor me. What do you think? And he told me what he thought. And I was really surprised when he told me. Like, he really told me he did a good job. And I got something for you guys, too, because like when you graded my book a B, I'm going to show you an old text I said Waylon. And it goes back to September. And I screenshot. I'm going to send it to the group later. I rated my book a B. Did I tell you I gave myself a B?
Yep.
I'll be honest about it. I did. In September, I did. I'm going to show you the screenshot later. I gave myself a B. I understood what I did right, what I did wrong. But that's why I'm saying right now I'm very excited about book 2. Because it's just now I have more of a team. And when we were reading off the list of how many people work on a freaking book, you're right. I have to actually give myself a pat on the back and Waylon too, because this was 2 of us. And we made a whole freaking book. It's crazy. Like, you don't think about these things. I was doing several jobs. He was doing several jobs. So we were just creating, you know? And that's why I like the style I have. Because it's a creative process. This is coming from the raw. Look at the old Spider-Man, right? He's raw and dingy. But you know what? Look what he develops into. Yep. I'm not worried about the art that much. But the art I like. You know, I got one complaint from the art. One complaint. And everybody's entitled to their opinion. I appreciate that person being honest with me, talk to me about the book, and had their opinion about it. But I'll be honest, I talked to everyone who's bought the book for me, who's read it, who saw the art, and I ain't got no complaints about it. I mean, David Nakayama held it in his hand and said he loved the damn art. And I just had to make a little correction on that because I created the character, but the art was done by Waylon. So I let Waylon take my character, and I said, okay, I want you to mold it, and do you see what you could do with this character? He goes, yes, I have so many ideas if you let me flow. So I'm going to let you flow. And that's what was happening. So I let him flow, and we were talking about how we were going to construct panels, and it's a process. It's not like anything that's really complicated. But if you write good enough, I feel like an artist our process is I write, and he really can see what I mean, which just means that I'm probably a good writer, and he can translate down
Yeah.
paneling, everything, and we just start sketching. And I'm like, yo, you're following everything I want, and that's good. The communication between us is excellent, and I love this process. This is so much fun, honestly. Like, anybody could do this. Don't think you can't. You can do this. Believe me when I tell you, it's easier than you would think it is. The hardest part is just getting started. Get
Definitely.
started. Get down. Start writing. I write. I don't go too crazy with writing. I just have fun with it. It's not a job.
Yep.
The same thing with me. Like, I could be making money. I could be cranking these things out quick. I don't want to do that right off the bat. When you're building a house, you have to build the foundation strong. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to build a strong foundation. That's why I put out such a high quality book. It costs money, but honestly, I spent a lot of money on that because I wanted to make something that was going to, not only, because if you could touch this book and you can I made it to be read. It's made to be touched. You can wipe it down if you want to take a little nap. I tell people, take a tissue, wipe it down if you're really worried about getting acid on it. Wipe it down with a tissue. But these things are made to be touched. I wanted to make something that was special that no one else made, that was going to last the test of time, that when I walk into a Comic-Con, that people were going to be like, yo, what? Nice. And I did that, And I'm just so excited about this because book 2, I'm still going to be hopeful for Christmas. If not Christmas, definitely January. I don't want to rush the process because, like I said, I got a few more people involved now.
And you're doing a new printer, right?
Yes, and I'm also I'm going to be using a new printer, because my boys out at Legacy Comics, shout out to you, Patrick Hinkin Jr., has good connections with a printer. We were doing quotes already. I was already getting like a couple $100 less than what I already had paid, which is great, because if I can bring the cost down, then I may bring this cost of this book down. I'm going to be fair to my customers. I'm not going to be like that. I'm going to be the kind of person like, if I can save money, I'm going to pass the savings on to my customers. This is what this cost me. But if I can, from what I can tell and what I'm seeing, I should be able to sell these. Like, I'm selling these for like $9.99, but I'll be able to probably sell those for about $7.50, which is going to bring the cost down. And I'm not asking for crowdfunding, and I just ask people to understand that like what we were saying too, Chris, which is totally true. Like, my book right now sells in stores. Like, I do have some people, but I be fair with the people who are selling it. If you're selling my book for 10, you keep 5. I'm going to take 5. It costs me about $3 to make one of these books. So when do I make it? $2 a book? But that's not the point for me. It's that right now, this is the discovery stage. People need to discover who I am.
Get Einstein out there as best you can and as quick as you can.
I think that I'm doing it in a way that makes sense, and I'm going to definitely... Right. I mean, like, without me going outside of the realm of crowdfunding and all that, and I'm not saying I don't want to do that, but I've talked to people in the business too, and it's something that you got to consider if you do want to do, because, if it's going to be good for you publicity-wise, then I say yes to do it. But remember, any money that you're going to make, a percentage is going to go back to these people as well. Whereas I printed everything, so anything that I sell now, it's all profit. It's not, it's paid for. This is already paid for. My books are paid for. My merch is paid for. All the stuff I made is paid for. So anything I sell is profit, And I have a lot of product, and I'm fine with that, Because I know right now, look, I already sold like 120 comics, and I'm very happy with that number, I could see me probably selling 2 to 250 by the end of the year, which I'm very happy with. I mean, the fact that I'm even selling comics is amazing, Like, I didn't, like, I may have made, I think I printed too many when I started. I shouldn't have printed 1,000, but you know what? I don't have no regrets doing that number. Not at all. Because I'm telling you, I'm having so much fun with, like, just doing covers like this. I'm just having so much fun with just doing things like this because I just love seeing, like, I don't know, it's just, I don't know, man. I just feel like, honestly, guys, this company is going to become something huge. Oh, definitely. And Chris, me and Nico are Supreme. we are actually co-creating a whole new character. Now I'm going to premiere on your show in about a couple of weeks.
That's awesome.
It's going to be a whole new character. It's going to be something that no one's ever created before. I'll put it to you like this. It's a combination character. It's a combination of 2 comic and cartoon characters that are not under any copyright. I'm going to take 2 of these characters and combine them into my own character. And when you see it, you're going to be like, wow. I already have a story and everything. So yeah, making another comic, have another comic coming from another writer and another artist. So I'm going to be publishing another comic soon. I'm not going to talk about the name of it right now, but I do have another book on the work. So while I'm working on book 2, I'm actually creating another character with Nico R. Supreme. We have another comic coming into the works as well. So I think by January, I should be having about maybe 2 to 3 comics under the label released. Nice. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm really excited about that, you know. I just can't wait to get back to work so I can sell this to Hollywood. Those damn actors. So you heard what happened with the actors, right? So let me tell you what happened now. Because, damn you, Fran Dresser. Let me tell you something. This lady, you people are dumb. You people are dumb. They had the same deal. They had the same deal that the writers had. No. Fran Dresser's like, no. And they re-voted her back in, by the way, so she's the president again. But, of course, who do you think benefits from this? People like her. From a long strike. Where now actors, now the big wigs, like, yeah. It's funny because I have my friends calling me up and goes, you know who called the studio the other day? I won't say who called the studio, but there's about 3 or 4 big-time actors that are like, let's get this shit together already and get back to fucking work. I'm losing money. These are people who are these are A-list actors. They're complaining to the studios, like, and to their own union. Like, what is this BS? Which I never understood that. Aren't unions supposed to be for, like, the middle class? Because I'm just curious, like, how is it that they have a union where you're all rich? Why are you like, you're all rich? I'm not making enough. That's what I'm telling you. Right, Chris, right. 16,000 an episode, 12,000 an episode, trust me. Hey, read Symbiotic. Yeah, give me some script. I'll give them ideas for shows. Trust me. This is how I network. You have no idea. You'll see. Watch. We're gonna be talking about this. You're gonna say, so Mike, what new show are you working on? Oh, I'm working on Power, book 5, whatever the characters up to. Who cares? So yeah, that's the goal when I go back to work is to, like, you know, continue networking with my networks. Yep. In fact, I gotta hit up my boy Scoop McNeely. Shout out to you, Scoop, because I haven't hit you up in a minute. You haven't worked. And I told you I was going to make the comic, so yeah, I got to hit him up because that's good publicity right there. I don't even care for that. I just want to let him know that I did it, you know? But yeah, I mean, I'm going to continue networking. I'm going to continue pushing this story. And I think in time, like, the story is going to evolve, and you're going to see I'm really world building really fine here, and I'm having it's coming together really good. I'm just being very meticulous with everything I wrote. I found one thing that I had to change. Just one little thing. But it was something that if I didn't change it, it would have screwed up the whole story. I caught it in time. So it's not anything like I have to really worry about. But I was comparing it to book 1, which I read that today again. I love reading that comic. It's dope, you know. So, yeah, I mean, it's just like everything's coming along fine, and this book should be done this weekend, and I already know how I'm going to do book 3, how I'm going to start it, and how I'm going to get to the middle. I mean, I got the battle scene already worked on in my head, and what happens after the battle scene, and how we're going to lead into the next book. So my mind is already, like, writing these things out, and I'm going to just, like I said, I have to do a recording later today, and I just got to get all my stuff together, and that's it. Continue writing. Continue hustling. Continue Symbioverse comics and Symbiotic. I love it. Love it. And I'm telling you all, you guys, please follow your damn dreams. Don't be that person that says, I would like to do, you know, and I'm telling you, I've had artists tell me this, literally, Legacy Comics. Patrick McNeely told me, he's like, yo, what I really liked about what you did here was, he goes, you know, people always told me, I want to write a comic, I want to do this, I want to do that. He goes, you showed up with a comic. He said, I've never seen that before. That's
Yeah.
respect automatically. And I was like, thank you. But that's how you do it, you know? Like, you want to be a star in this world, you better show up as a star. That's what I
Definitely.
did. I felt like Comic-Con for me was like my coming out party, and we showed up like stars. That's it. And I did what I had
Yeah.
to do, and I was talking to all my friends. The only hard part about Comic-Con was we need segways. Yo, we definitely need one of those damn segways, you know? Or a power scooter or something. Something.
Next year we'll have a
it's
booth.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna be shooting for sure. So I gotta reach out to a couple of people that I know from the cons, people that know other people from the cons, and see about getting my booth in Artist Alley. So I'm gonna try to get to Artist Alley. You hear us? You hear that, Waylon? Trust me, I'm coming to get your ass from out in the Midwest. And you're going to come to New York Comic Con in this damn booth with me, and we're going to chill for 4 days. I'm telling you, I'm going to be busting my ass to get this Artist Alley table, you know. I would like to get next to David Nakayama, but I think it goes in damn alphabetical order.
I think so, too.
Yeah, so, I mean, I don't know how they're going to classify me or how I'm going to do this, but yeah, I'm definitely going to be shooting for Artist Alley next year, and trust me, I will have the bangingest, most excitingest, most live freaking table, because I know me. Like, okay, perfect example. I've been doing a little research on personalities. Oh my girl, she gave me some video about single males, right, and I was laughing, because I'm like, damn, I don't really watch these things, but I'm watching and I'm like, you know what? Damn, that kind of sounds like me. The one thing that I said that made me laugh is because what David Nakayama told you, it was what he told you that made me start thinking about this. He said, that dude's amazing, and I love his energy. His energy's off the chart. And it's true. Yeah. Well, apparently single males have this. I didn't know this. So this is something that is just something that's within this personality trait that I guess I have. And yeah, I'm energetic, charismatic, freaking, I'm moving all the time. I mean, I'm moving more. Do you see all those kids sleeping under the stairs? We were moving around for hours, and you got people passed out at Comic-Con. You know, young people, listen, they have these things called multivitamins. Take one a day. Trust me, that's going to help you a lot. Because these guys had no pep. We were moving for hours. You seen how we were moving. We were trucking. We didn't stop. Kept going. We went from one side of the Jarvis Center to the other side, back to that side, and back to the other side, and back. Like, we walked that thing like 5 times, like champions. And I got all these young people that are sleeping in the corner. Get up, guys. You're too young. So, yeah, I have that infectious personality, which I like that. That's fine. That's why I said to everyone that I've ever known, and people that know me for a long time before all this, and even now, that, yeah, I was built for this kind of stuff. I really am. Yeah. I was built for the entertainment business. I just didn't want to do it at the time that I could have done it. I don't want to say I could have. I definitely had a job in Hollywood, and I could have done it. I just felt like back then, like, you know, when you see all this car, like, look, I'll just throw some names out there, Corey Feldman, Corey Haim, things like that. That's the era I grew up in, and that would have been me, like one of those kids. Nah. I just had that feeling, like, it's just like, the seediness of Hollywood was always there, you know, so it was just something I was never interested in doing, because I knew, like, a bunch of perverts running around Hollywood, you know, and trust me, little baby face pretty boys, they get in it too. Trust me, you think it's just the girls, these guys go after the pervs. It's all good. You know, I know, but now that I'm older, to me, now I'm older, so now I got my own company, I'm going to be doing my own thing. It's completely different, because I'm at the point in life where this is me doing it because I want to do it, not because I have to do it, not because I need to do it. It's because I want. See, it's a freedom, you know? I'm sorry, God. I just rambled.
No, you're good. Tomorrow is Halloween Comic Fest, so I've got to get up early in the morning. I hate to cut you off, but we definitely got to sign off because it's getting to be that time. And but definitely, I'd love to finish this conversation and do some more speculation. We can do speculation like once a month with Mark Spector. That'd be amazing. Because he knows. Mark speculation. It's awesome.
Oh yeah,
Mark speculation.
Mark is great. Like listen, Mark is like one of my in my channel, like back in the day, like he was one of my my investigative reporters, man. He used to feed me all kinds of stories, and I would research it with him. That's how I got the acetate gate story. Oh my god.
Oh, nice.
I loved it, but yeah, that's how he is, man. But yeah, I'm down to do it every month, so I'm gonna let
Definitely.
you go now. You
Have
are
a good
free to
one.
go, my friend. All right, you too. And peace and love, everyone. And remember, go buy my comic.
See ya.
See you, everybody. Peace and love. Good night.